I mean, that's actually an absolutely incredible play that was in that game by Moon. I mean, just the way that he responded to that Zergling play was just phenomenal. Excuse me, the Blink Stalker play with the Zerglings was phenomenal.
Yeah, indeed. And he was not just blind countering it. I mean, he was preparing for any other kind of attack as well. He was getting Spore Crawlers. And that's the thing. As Zerg, if you get a good idea about what Protoss is doing in early game, you're already a little bit ahead, and Protoss has to start catching up again. At least if Protoss can't fast expand.
Yeah, now, as much as I would love to say that Ace's confidence is shattered, that was the awkward map for Ace to play on. Just like you were saying, on that map, it's very difficult to do any sort of Forge early expand. Actually, it's impossible to do any sort of Forge early expand because you have to build like a 15 building wall across the middle.
It would actually be funny if Protoss players start vetoing Delta Quadrant all of a sudden.
So yeah, Ace I think is going to be very happy that it's going to be on Lost Temple, as that map is just so easy for a Protoss player to do an early expand on.
I'd really like to see Moon just not doing what everybody was doing, but taking a really, really early pool against what Ace is doing. I think it just completely counters what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Moon do that awesome 10 pool against Squirtle. That was so neat.
Yeah, I mean, Ace kind of knows Moon did it, but I think Ace is still going to go for the fast expand. So if Moon repeats it, I don't know.
Yeah, now on this map, what Ace is likely going to be doing, given his history, is probably some sort of 5-gate push early on, but you'll note that he doesn't actually try to go in for the win. A lot of players are like, well, I told myself I was going to 5-gate push. I guess I have to lose everything to prove to him I was going to do it, you know.
Yeah.
No need at all to do that. So we see very often Ace will move out, take a look from the Xel'Naga Watchtower and go, I don't want to do that. Pull back, get a Robo, and then start getting Colossi.
As a Protoss player, it's basically never too late to take your third base. You can always come back and go into macro play and play extremely defensive. There's really no reason to risk your mid-game army.
Yeah, and Moon, I think, is going to have a good treat of doing his drop play on this map, which I'm so excited to see. Again, the two things I want to emphasize that Moon does brilliantly is getting stupid amounts of drones very, very quickly and using Hydralisks very, very well in the mid-game. People actually kind of stopped building Hydralisks at all in this matchup.
But it makes sense because it's so hard to fight with Hydras in the straight-up fight. However, Moon found so many ways to utilize Hydras in another indirect ways and not fighting his opponent in open field.
Well, looks like Game 2 countdown has started. The map is going to be Lost Temple. Who do you think is going to win this game, Dario?
I would say it is probably Ace's most comfortable map, in a way. Maybe Scrap Station even, but...
That is true.
Yeah.
You can abuse that passivity so well. Getting 3 bases, easy peasy, no problemo. And there's both Ace and Moon, in fact, have not changed their initial icons. They're the very rugged engineer from the Starcraft 2 campaign. How tough.
Yeah.
And it looks like the game is about to load, so I'd love it if we could get a cheer for our 2 players who came out today. It looks like we are going directly into Game 2 on Lost Temple of Moon against Ace. Welcome to Lost Temple, the grand finals of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. We are on Lost Temple. Moon currently up 1-0 after that impressive game. He is in the bottom corner as the red Zerg, and in the closest position possible, we see Ace as the blue Protoss.
And not only is it the closest position possible, but it's gonna make drop play extremely hard for Moon. I mean, he can kind of drop Hydras on the natural and just harass a little bit, but he's not going to be able to put too much pressure on the main base of Ace.
That is true. I mean, the drop position that you normally want to be in would be Moon, for instance, at the bottom, and then Ace at this left position. Then dropping across this watery valley is the easiest way to get into your opponent's main, and in particular, you can't really be picked off. But if you're trying to drop in from this angle by the shrubbery, then you can easily have a whole bunch of stalkers here or a whole bunch of forces here to intercept in the middle of the map.
And once again, Ace is placing his first pylon at his natural, so he's not going to do anything else but fast expand.
And Moon is actually going for the gas pool opening, but getting his gas and pool super early on 13, so something a little bit earlier, more aggressive can actually pop out for Moon.
It's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do with the gas. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually continues harvesting gas over 100, because otherwise I don't really see much reason to get it that early.
Yeah, there's generally no reason to get speed for Zerglings because it's not like you're going to try to chase down the buildings of your opponent. I mean, there's already going to be a complete wall off for Ace. Nothing can really squeeze in. We see Ace continue to try to pick and poke away at those drones, do any little damage he can. There is one drone that is feeling a little bit of the hurt, but other than that, Moon doing everything pretty typically, but look at how low his money's going to get. We see the Queen, and then just now getting enough money for that Zergling speed, but has absolutely nothing to be able to take an expansion.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird considering how Ace was playing the last games, but maybe Moon is a kind of a person who's not assuming too much what his opponent is gonna do, but just gonna play his style and not assume that he's gonna play the same as last games.
And this is, again, a play I love by Ace. He gets the gateway before the photon cannon, which seems like a huge risk, but he will always build a second gateway here to wall off if Zerglings are coming, and it looks like there they are coming over right now. And oh no, is he not going to have enough there in time? Oh, Moon could have just walked right in. No, there's a probe there to build the emergency backup gateway.
However, I mean, Moon knew he's probably not going to get in, but he also knows Ace really likes to hide probes, and he's instantly scouting around for it and is going to find the probe of Ace. This is going to be a huge blow.
That is so awesome. He found that almost immediately. That is a very difficult feat to be able to do, to track down a probe all the way across the middle of the map. And whoa, it's a layer, Dario. Tell me, what's happening? What's happening, Dario?
I don't know. I mean, what he could actually be doing is he's gonna play one base Nidus Worm all in.
That is so cool. Oh, for any of you who are unfamiliar with StarCraft 2, almost always as a Zerg, I'm talking 99% of the time, you want a second base up for more of these juicy blue minerals, but instead we're seeing Moon not even make an attempt at taking an expansion, even though it is completely safe to do so right now. Ace getting his own expansion up. We see the warp gate going down for Ace, and soon enough nope, looks like a cancel on all that, going to be throwing down a Stargate, and here's some very conspicuously positioned overlords.
Yeah, he's giving himself two different options to make the Nidus Worm, and it doesn't look like Ace has any intention to place pylons at the edge of his cliff to, well, find the Nidus Worm at all.
And it looks like no units have even been started by Ace yet. In the unit counting station we see workers.
Yeah, and he's getting a third cannon, but that cannon is not going to be able to shoot up to his main base.
And there's the Nidus Worm going down right now for Moon. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, now that clapping, dear crowd, may have made Ace a little suspicious. Maybe Ace will take, yeah, that clapping made Ace go, wait a minute, let me check around my base a little bit. There we go. Uh-oh, nope, nothing to see here. Is that an no, just that's a normal overlord. Yep, oh. Nope, better send that back home, Ace. Very good, Ace. There you, oh, no, he's gonna, okay. Looks like he's continuing to poke around, but Moon, looks like he already has a plan in mind. There's the Nidus Worm. Uh-oh, and he finds it. He sees the Nidus Worm, and here come all the probes, and now Moon needs to get this done. It's halfway done. It's already getting very low on health. It's getting increasingly close, and no, he gets a Zergling out. One Zergling at a time. That's all you need, baby.
Yeah, he's gonna do 35 Nidus Worms now.
I mean, at this point in time, Moon is just completely committed to this all-in. There's the second attempt at the Nidus Worm, and it looks like the Void Ray now beginning to try to pick off these overlords, and Ace again heading to the Nidus Worm. The Nidus Worm will end up getting done. Let's see if he gets another Zergling out. He gets two out, 3 Zerglings. It was 3 times as effective as the previous Nidus Worm.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be doing enough. There's a Void Ray now, even in the main base. And he's not going to be able to get another Nidus Worm out any time.
Oh, he can actually build it right here. Uh-oh, he better move away. Here's the 3 Zerglings now. He's trying to run around. He's trying to distract. He's now heading down to this natural expansion. Ace has no idea. He does not know. The Void Ray is trying to pick up after these Zerglings. Moon does get the Nidus Worm up, and here come the Zerglings. Ace hears the cheer and says, wait a minute. That's not how that's supposed to happen. And now Ace has a torrent of units pouring into his base, the target fire on the bottom nexus, the target fire on the top nexus. Ace in a lot of trouble.
The Nidus Worm gets taken out, so there's not going to be any reinforcement. However, Moon still needs to do a lot of damage to the probes.
Yeah, I mean, if we go to the unit counting station, we see 34 probes out right now for the Protoss players. Zerglings in the main need to start working away at that Nexus. We see the Zerglings continuing to try to pick down as many probes as they can, but Ace is doing an amazing job actually staying alive. There's the target fire on the Nexus. More probes pull back. Moon should take note of that, try to pick them off. Zerglings from Moon continue to try to do damage, but the fully charged Void Ray, the Instructor Void Ray, hanging out at 14 kills. And it looks like Ace has stabilized from this early pressure.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much Moon can do anymore now. He does not have an overload close to Ace's base. Now he's pulling back the 12 o'clock overload because he's probably going to do one more Nidus Worm because he cannot expand from that position now.
Well, Moon can always begin putting pressure on the front of Ace's structures because those Hydros do outrange these cannons that are hiding behind the buildings.
Yeah, but Ace is getting a pylon at the top now, so that overload is not going to be able to put the Nidus Worm in there.
But at this point, Ace is taking all his Void Rays away, trying to poke around the map. We've seen nothing but Hydras coming out right now for Moon. Moon is committed to this one-base play.
Yeah, and if he managed to actually get Hydras out, he could maybe still overwhelm Ace because probes and Void Rays can maybe defend against Zerglings, but Hydras are just going to shred through workers so quickly.
And it looks like sneaking that Overlord around. Oh, Ace is trying to do a very, very ninja move to try to poke down there, but he gets spotted by a Phoenix, so Ace looks like he has completely defended this Nidus Worm pressure for now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Moon would just be walking out with his Hydrolist now. I mean, he does have to do one final attack. There's not like he can come back in an economic game.
It looks like he is Nidus Worming up on this high ground. He could even do a double Nidus Worm play and be very, very aggressive. There's little that Moon could do. And there's the Nidus Worm popping out right now. Hydros beginning to explode up onto this high ground, taking out this assimilator. There's just 2 Void Rays. And there's the second Nidus Worm going down right now. But he does not have the range upgrade. This is going to be very hard for Moon to be able to defend.
Yeah, and the Void Rays are taking out the second Nidus Worm.
And it looks like there's the expansion going down. So right now, Moon is just relying on the fact that this gas geyser will not be able to get taken anytime soon. So hopefully he can end up with a somewhat of an extended or slowly extending lead, given that Ace is going to be behind on that very, very important gas resource.
Yeah, the Nidus Worm is placed a little bit unluckily because it's actually blocking off the Hydras from picking up probes at the mineral line.
And it looks like Ace going to do a little pullback aggression. Is going to try to poke at this very late expansion. There's the double Void Ray popping out right now. We're going to see maybe some Hydros end up popping up there soon. Wow, Ace now with that cannon up is essentially impregnable to any sort of pressure.
Yeah, and Moon is even denied his expansion. He has to keep building units now. There's another Overseer coming in, so there will be another Nidus Worm in the main.
And it looks like this Phoenix will not be able to see it. Okay, be very quiet, crowd. Don't cheer. Be very quiet. He can build a Nidus Worm, but if he does, don't clap. Shh. Don't do anything. Shh. Be very quiet. Very good. There's a Nidus Worm coming out right now. It's getting close to done, and there's a pylon coming up. And now you can cheer because he spotted the Nidus Worm. So now that means that there is going to be a huge swell of Hydros popping directly into the main. This Nidus Worm has been completely abandoned. Huge force of Hydros getting into into Ace's main. Moon has been begging for this all game long.
And it looks like it's going to be a very close battle. Hydros are extremely efficient, but there are just too many Phoenix.
But it looks like there's still some Zerglings left in the Nidus Worm, and Ace, who delayed it just long enough. And there's the good game. The incredible defense by Ace all game long.